So oftentimes when I'm meeting with people that have suffered property damage or personal injury damage, they ask me, how do you measure my damages? What am I entitled to? And there's some different mechanisms we can look at to try to determine that. But ultimately, at the end of the day, if we don't settle with an insurance company or we don't settle with someone who has wronged you, your remedy is to go to a jury trial. So I tell clients, ultimately, the measure of your damages is what a jury of your peers is willing to award you after hearing your story. And that's really what trial work is all about. It's telling a story to the jury so they understand what's happened to you, they can empathize with you, and they can justly award you your damages. And a lot of that, we do a great job as trial lawyers making sure the jury understands your case. But one of the most interesting parts about a jury trial is picking the jury. There's a process at the beginning of the trial called voir dire, and a pool of members of the community will be brought in as potential jurors, and you're trying to select the jury that you think would be most advantageous to understand and appreciate your client's case. And I represented a group of landowners against a railroad, a major railroad, who had spilled diesel fuel all over their properties and had contaminated their wells and had done a really poor job of cleaning up that contamination. And as we were beginning to pick a jury, there was one individual that stuck out to me as somebody that I'm not sure that he would really empathize with my clients. It was more of a just kind of generalization. But as it turns out, I could not get this individual off the jury. I had to use strikes for other good reasons. And so as the trial unfolded, I was a little bit concerned about this one particular juror. That concern ended during closing argument as I did my summation and tried to ask the jury to award my clients real damages for their property that had been contaminated wrongfully by the railroad. I was in the middle of my closing argument, pointing my finger at the railroad representatives for their negligence, and at that time, that juror, unsolicited, just called out, "You're a damn good attorney." And it awoke the judge, who looked up from his bench and said, what just happened? What did he say? And I was like, "Nothing, Your Honor. I'd like to finish my closing." And he said, "Please go ahead." But the look of opposing counsel, the attorneys from the big city of Baltimore that they had sent down to represent the railroad, they knew what that meant. And at the end of closing, they doubled their offer to my clients, which we declined, and ultimately we got a favorable verdict that was well above the railroad's final offer. So the moral of that story is a jury determines what your damages are, and we do the best job we can to tell your story to the jury so you can be fully compensated. If you have damages, if you've suffered damages at the hands of a corporation, call Arnold Bailey, and we're happy to go litigate the case. We don't care how big the defendant. We'll get you just compensation.